Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at a band that I have not listened to in years, and I'm talking bloody years and years. You're probably talking about a good 15 plus years I've not heard this band, and it's a band called QueenAdreena. Now, back when I used to live in the south of England, just outside London, I had a group of friends, and some of them were absolutely obsessed with this band. I couldn't go anywhere without hearing their cover version of Jolene, which was very, very good, I might add. But, so I am familiar with the band. It has just been a very long time since I've heard them, so I don't necessarily actually remember what they sounded like. For anybody who wanted to know anything about them, QueenAdreena were an English alternative rock band that formed in London, England in 1999 by vocalist Katie Jane Garside and guitarist Crispin Gray. They had both previously collaborated in the celebrated but short-lived band Daisy Chainsaw. Garside and Gray, who had earned a reputation for their abrasive songwriting with Daisy Chainsaw, incorporated elements of blues rock and other genres in QueenAdreena, in addition to their predominant noise rock influences. The band, in their time, released 4 studio albums between 2000 and 2008, beginning with the critically acclaimed Taxidermy album. That album was huge amongst my group of friends. That was just never ending hearing that one. The band signed with Rough Trade Records for their second release, Drink Me, in 2002, before being dropped by the label. After that, they got signed with the independent label One Little Indian. The band also released a live album, Live in ICA, which was recorded at the Institute of Contemporary Arts in 2010. The group disbanded, and Garside pursued other solo projects, mainly Ruby Throat. So there you go. So the band really only existed for about 10 years, but in that time they did actually become hugely popular, definitely amongst my group of friends. Anyway, the track we're going to look at is a track called Pretty Like Drugs. Now, I'm pretty sure I have heard this before. The name of it sounds very, very familiar, but like I said, it's probably been about 15 years since I've heard it. I'm not sure when this song came out, but it's been a very long time. I don't actually remember it at all. So, this is going to be an interesting trip down memory lane, I think. So, let's jump to it and have a look. I've never actually looked at the lyrics of QueenAdreena either, so, might learn something interesting. So, let's have a look. Pretty Like Drugs by QueenAdreena. I remember this band now. Yeah, like I said, I hadn't heard them in a long time, but yes, I remember them. I remember the sound now because the way she sings those harsher vocals, it actually reminds me of another band. I know them best as Satana, but people otherwise know them as Manhole as well. I cannot remember for the life of me the name of the singer of that band, but when she sings the harsh vocals, that's who it reminds me of. Now, this song itself could be about so many things. I mean, the song being called Pretty Like Drugs, one would immediately jump to the conclusion that the song was about drugs, possibly about an overdose, which is very, very possible. But also, it almost sounds like Toxic Celebrity, like growing up in the spotlight of everybody as well. I'll explain. The lyrics, they go, "In vain I seek farther, the needle closer, the little end." That in itself would suggest drugs and overdose. It could actually be a combination of overdose. It could be a combination of the overdose and Toxic Celebrity. You know, somebody growing up in the public eye and not being able to take it and overdosing. Essentially, that could very well be that. Because the song goes, "The world is watching as I take my last breath. The world is watching as I get undressed." Excuse me, because I'm pretty like drugs. The world is watching as my wings unfurl. The world is watching the death of a girl because I'm pretty like drugs. And then, you know, she carries on repeating, "I'm pretty like drugs" every now and then. And it goes, "I load the gun and I'm out of the world. And I take it harder because, oh, pretty like drugs, I load the gun." So, the way she's saying things like, "The world is watching as I take my last breath, the world is watching as I get undressed, the world is watching as my wings unfurl, the world is watching the death of a girl," those suggest, possibly, like somebody growing up in the public eye, like in the spotlight, you know, the world literally watches her every single move. You know, the world is watching the death of a girl, they're watching her grow up. She's forced to grow up quicker because she's in the spotlight. She hasn't got childhood, maybe, you know, and the world is watching watches my wings unfurl. Like they're watching her grow, they're watching her bloom, they're watching her blossom, etc., etc. You know, so that could be what it is about. And you know, because I'm pretty like drugs, you know, it's like they're watching her because she's beautiful and they're addicted to her, like they're addicted to drugs. You know, people do get a bit obsessive and addicted to celebrity, you know. So that could be what pretty like drugs means, you know. They find her so appealing, they think that she's so beautiful that they're addicted to her. They want to know everything that goes on in their lives, you know, like all these gossip magazines and stuff like that who keep talking about the Kardashians for God knows why, but people just want to find out all the juicy information. They want to know more about these people, and it's like an addiction, like drugs. That could be what this means. And it you know, there's that bit that says, "I load the gun and I'm out of the world and I take it harder because, oh, pretty like drugs, I load the gun." Now, when it says "I load the gun and I'm out of the world," that could be a literal load the gun, I'm out of this world, or it could also be, you know, "I load the gun," it could be like preparing a needle, you know, and I'm out of this world, you know, that's, you know, totally spaced out on a major high of like heroin or whatever it is, could mean that as well. So, yeah. So, you know, it does actually have a meaning behind it. Anyway, let's carry on. there we go. So, that was Pretty Like Drugs by QueenAdreena. Now, I was just trying to quickly look something up here. That's it. Tari B was the person I was trying to think of. The person who she sounded like, who was in Cheer Satana and Manhole. Tari B. Now, the song carried on. Said the world is watching with a pregnant pause. The world is watching as I to applause. The world is watching as I plant the last seed. The world is watching me watch TV because I'm pretty like drugs, etc., etc. Says I load the gun, I wax and wane, subject all of my pain onto you, baby, because I'm pretty like drugs. So. Again, it's sort of carried on, possibly, like I said, possibly suggestive of toxic celebrity, you know, like where people are forced to grow up in the public eye and the spotlight sort of thing. And again, it could also be someone's overdosed and, you know, people are just standing there looking at, watching them do it, you know, just staring at them rather than, like, trying to help them, you know. It could be talking about someone with a drug problem and people are just watching them do it rather than help them through it. I don't know. It could have so many different meanings. I mean, things like the world is watching me watching TV. You know, that's almost like this whole Big Brother thing these days. You know, put all these celebrities in a house and people just, for some reason, are addicted to watching this group of has-been celebrities do absolutely all in a house. You know, it's like you're watching 6 or 8 people sitting around a house watching TV or sitting around a house like just talking, sitting on sofas. I mean, people actually watch these people sleep for hours on end. You know, people just are addicted to that kind of reality rubbish that's probably all scripted in the first place. But, you know, that sort of thing is just... It's trope, but people are addicted to it because it's celebrities, you know. And there's the other line there. The world is watching as I to applause. Again, this goes into like the Big Brother thing. You know, they're just sitting there watching, for example, Big Brother. You know, and they're like, "Oh, this celebrity's going to get it on with that celebrity," and they sit there and they watch them doing whatever they're doing on TV, and they're like cheering them on. It's like, what is wrong with you? You know, you're sitting there watching 2 celebrities do stuff that is supposed to be private, and you're cheering them on, and you're enjoying this show somehow. It makes no sense. But again, I could be way off base. You know, like I said, this could mean so many different things in this song. You know, and like I said, it was huge with my friends back in the day. I never really picked up on it because, you know, it's okay, but it wasn't something that I was particularly overwhelmed with. You know, it's still not bad. You can tell how old it is just by listening to it. You know, it is a bit dated in its sound, but you know, it's still not bad. But I can't really say much else about that. You know, the band had a certain aesthetic, you know, as you could see in the video, and you know, it looked pretty good. You know, the music they played matched their look. Their vocal performance, you know, was pretty much typical for a lot of, well, for the time, should I say, you know, because, like I said, with bands like Manhole and Satana, they had a very similar sort of vocal style on the harsher side. But yeah, I can't really think of much else to say about it, so I'll leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comments section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support me and support this channel, help me create future content, and maybe even improve the quality of the content in the future. Just know, if you do suggest me a track to me, it might take me a while to get around to it, since, you know, I get suggested so many tracks every single day. You know, for every one video I put out, I get suggested another 12 or so. And, excuse me, my list grows faster than I can record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It will just take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those that are aimed towards people of the alternative culture. It's something that I feel very strongly about, something I'm very passionate about, because I think this is something that definitely needs more attention bringing to it. Every single day, people all over the world, in countries all around the world, are getting violently attacked just purely because of the music they listen to and the way that they dress. And not enough is being done about it to prevent it. People are getting hospitalised, people are getting brutally beaten just because they listen to alternative music. It's something that's never made sense to me in the first place, but, people should never be attacked for being an individual. You shouldn't attack someone just because they like something different to you. You shouldn't attack someone because they've got a different taste to you. You don't beat someone up because they like different movies and TV shows to you, do you? You don't beat someone up because they like How I Met Your Mother instead of Friends. You don't beat someone up because they like, I don't know, because they like Star Trek movies instead of Star Wars movies. This doesn't happen. So why would you attack someone because they like heavy metal over pop music, or doom metal instead of hip hop? Why would you attack them for that? It makes no sense. But it's happening all the time, and people are getting severely injured. People, like I said, people are getting hospitalised because of this. And then you get the example of what happened to Sophie Lancaster and Rob Maltby. These two kids, well, say kids, they were like 20, 21 at the time, I think. They were walking home, minding their own business, and they were set upon by a group of people, like 5, 6 people, just decided to descend upon them and beat 10 shades of shit out of them. And beat them so severely that it put both of them in comas. Rob Maltby and Sophie Lancaster were both in a coma for, well, Rob Maltby was in for I think a few days, maybe a week. But Sophie Lancaster was in a coma for 13 days before she died. She never came out of it. She was beaten so severely, essentially she was brain dead. She was kicked and stamped on so violently that they killed her outright. She was brain dead. It's unacceptable just because they liked alternative music and just because they were wearing alternative fashion. It is unacceptable that this happened. There was a punk in, I think it was Texas, I'm not sure, who got purposefully hit by a car. The person driving the car purposefully ran into him and killed him. But the guy driving the car actually got off very, very lightly because he was one of these sort of high school jock college football people, and the judge didn't want to ruin his career. And after all, the guy he hit was only a punk. It's unacceptable. For some reason, alternative people are seen as like the dregs of society. We're seen to be less than shit. So people generally don't give a damn. They don't care whether we're getting attacked. But the thing is, people are getting really, really hurt. And when it gets to the point where a young woman is killed minding her own business, walking home, it's unacceptable, and something needs to be done to stop it. We can't allow this to go on. We cannot allow this to happen again. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to put an end to all of this mindless violence. They want to put an end to all this hatred and, prejudice and all that stuff. They don't want to see another family go through what they went through when their daughter slowly died. They don't want to see someone else go through that. They don't want to see another person get killed just because they like alternative music. But it should never have happened in the first place, but it most certainly should not ever happen again. If you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on, find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any way, that would be absolutely fantastic. You know, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands, you can get them on their web store. They have a whole bunch of other really awesome merchandise, or you could just simply donate to the charity without having to purchase anything, you know. But any small amount can make the biggest difference, and the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.